You're gonna have to cut this part or pause it because it will be copyrighted.
I think I'm gonna have to turn play up real quick.
No. There's covers on YouTube. Come on now.
But I'm not singing. Well, we're not. Oh, good point. Too much.
Oh, fuck, that's warm. That feels like a sun-kissed taste.
Wake up in the morning.
I don't know the words.
And I pop open a sun-kissed.
Yes, brother. Brother man, get you a sun-kissed good and open.
The orange flavor reminds me of the warm morning
It's
sun.
actually so warm because I was playing.
We're gonna make a commercial for Sun-Kissed now?
This podcast is brought to you by Sunkist.
Into this amp
Really?
because my amp is at church, so yeah, I can have the bass kind of going.
But your amp's right there.
Oh, over Chonder. Would be the correct terminology.
This amp is right here. My bass amp. But yeah,
Fascinating.
Also, like for me, the guitars, I realized that it's
Quite fascinating.
Yes.
it's just fourths.
Fascinating.
That's what my teacher was telling me.
And then I learned that, like, obviously, it's like a piano, so it's like whole step. Because, like, obviously, if you're playing this key. But if you can remember that, then you can just kind of like. When I started doing that, it's fun. See if I can do it.
I
This
need your
song-
ability to like obsess over something and like just fucking learn it off of like
Yeah, I do.
raw tenacity. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You were very coordinated.
This part is difficult.
Hitting the blues right now?
Yeah, no, it's jazz improvisational.
Yeah. That's kind of like the blues.
Yeah. Break.
Yeah.
But nah, that's we grew up watching this show called Monk, and that was the theme song. So one day I was just sitting down and I was like, oh wait a minute, okay, and then yeah, and then I just learned it. It was
I feel like you really listen to your ears.
yeah, it's all I freaking do nowadays. Break. Break. I can't do it as fast as the real thing.
I feel like I'm.
You do.
I know what that is. This song is pain.
I freaking love this song until it gets to the end.
Yeah,
Until it gets to the
no.
end. Cliffs of Dover. It's like.
Close to Dover? Like,
Yeah.
like in England?
Guitar Hero 3.
Oh, that's where. Okay, fuck.
Yeah.
I think they get the song title from the Cliffs of Dover in England.
It's hard.
So you're learning. You're just like, what did I play on Guitar Hero that I always wanted to play with a real guitar?
Break. Oh. I don't do it like that. How do I do it again? Yeah, that kind of difficult. But yeah, basically I've just learned it like, it's kind of like, once I realized that the piano, so much distortion.
Could you play Freebird?
No.
what like helps you to focus like when you're practicing? Do you have like any like particular, you know, like practice or ritual, or you just like I decide to like go and play guitar right now?
Well, that's recently what I've been doing. But one thing that I have realized is just a genuine interest in something. When I have a genuine interest in something, that's when I like truly will focus on it, and I'll just hone in, and I'll just spend all of my whenever I have free time, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna study whatever I need to study so that I can get better at it. Whenever I have free time, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna practice it. Like with the guitar now, I'll just sit down. Like I've realized that I need to reteach myself how to learn. So now I'll sit down. I'm like, okay, these are the notes. So I'll just I'm losing my train of thought. All right, these are notes. So all right, I'm messing this part up. So you just slow down and just take your time. But yeah, for me, it's just having a genuine interest in it. That's only then when I can be focused.
What is like a genuine interest like? Because like to me, like sometimes like when I really want to fucking learn about something, I'll do fucking research on it because it's something relevant to me in my life right now. Like it's a similar issue that I'm going through, or it's just like wonder what the hell was happening on that day. That's what seemed like some crazy shit. You know, like those are like the hyper obsessive like tunnels I go down.
For like, me, like in school, I didn't focus at all because it was boring. I wasn't interested in it. But Mr. Crowdis, we might have to bleep that. I don't know.
No, that could be a common name.
Okay, yeah, but
Mr. Crowdis was top
here we go.
Top from.
we gotta bleep it again.
Yeah, because now I'm about to throw it even further in econ.
But yeah, no, you good.
But so in econ, he actually managed to make the class entertaining, which then made it interesting. And so because it was interesting and it was entertaining, I got like 110 in that class or something like that. Because it was genuinely fun. Like getting a 99, I would get upset.
Because he was engaging, like he would like talk.
Yes.
He would talk to the kids. He wouldn't like command for a minute and then like tell them to shut up and do your work.
Yes,
Learn
and
about
he
this.
could do it in a way that was still entertaining. Like it was engaging, it wasn't boring. Yeah,
It was chill. He was a likable guy. It's
Yeah.
like it's interesting. Like when you have it's like a likable guy to a teenager that's their teacher. That's a fucking really hard thing to accomplish. That's fucking
Yeah.
There was hardly any of that. I mean, part of it that I think helped was that it's a male teacher. How many fucking? What do you think the ratio of male teachers to female teachers in your lifetime was? Fucking like mostly women. So it's like
I
when
think I had two.
Yeah, my guy teachers were all chill too. They
Only
were
had
all,
two.
they were all pretty like dope people, except for there was always the main core teachers who were dudes were pretty dope, but the people who did the other activities like music and stuff, those were the motherfuckers who threw chairs.
Yeah.
So
but not around. Well, not around us. Like for example, do you count advisement? Because I don't.
Not really. Those were random people, I guess.
Yeah, but I think our advisement teacher was a musical teacher.
Yeah, he did that, and like,
But he was always
SAT
chill. Every
prep.
time I had been around him, he was chill. So
Yeah, no, he was all right. Except I remember nobody liking him.
yeah, that's the thing I was gonna say. Like, it seems like the ones that throw chairs, the music teachers, it's only at the music people.
Right.
Everybody else, they're super friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like that with your parents.
You know, I gotta ask you: Have you yet watched that movie we were talking about
Which one?
with J.K. Simmons?
Oh, yeah, Whiplash.
I still have not. No, I still have not. Bro, I have a whole backlog. I'm telling you, years worth.
I need someone to talk to that movie about because that shit was like fucking. That was a different kind of movie. Like it's
dude.
different.
It's
and
been
like,
a minute since I've seen it, but every single scene and like what the scene before it meant to the new scene that they're playing now and like the way it goes into the next one is really flawed. Like there's barely any random bits in the movie where you're like, oh man, this is kind of boring or anything like that. It
keeps
really
you
keeps
engaged,
you
because, like, 'cause
engaged.
it's like,
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't do like a side mission. It doesn't do like a subplot. It doesn't do any fucking extra shit. Like it just goes through like his like focus like process of learning. So it's just fucking. And I wonder, the actor that plays him, like, did he actually fucking like learn how to play that like at the end?
Yeah, Miles Teller was a great drummer beforehand, and all he had to do was kind of like sharpen up on his drumming skills, and he actually performed that. Whether or not that's
So that was
what
real.
he played, whether or not that's the audio of what he played, yeah, but like that was timed perfectly right. It's filmed basically, it's the exact choreography of what a drummer would actually do while they're doing Caravan, and it's really, really intensive.
Yeah, because that fucking last movie or that last fucking scene was like, God damn, he's sweating.
I'm sure the sweat was real
Sweating.
too. Like that was real sweat on his fucking head. Drummers be sweating a lot, but during Caravan, you're losing pounds.
Jesus
You're just
Christ.
in the zone. You're focused.
In the zone, for real. Even the original recording of whoever did it first, I can't remember, but it was like all over the movie. That guy's sweating, and he's in a suit. He's in a suit and tie. He's looking like Clay right now.
He's drenched.
And he's drenched, bro. His hair's flopping down, flopping sweat everywhere. It's something else. Drummers go through a lot to play music. Like people who, like vocalists and whatnot. If you're dancing, you're gonna be moving, but people who like vocalize just like sit right next to the mic stand, like they don't got it nearly as bad as drummers, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, because
It's
you're just
crazy.
gotta still the whole time. It's kind of like that with bass. Because like when I be at the church and we'd be up front, and it's like you just kind of got to sit there. The part that makes it weird is when we get to like the sermon and stuff, because now I'm just sitting at the front.
Oh, you stay in the front?
Yeah.
While the sermon's going on?
Yeah, because like when we get to tithes and offering or prayer, things of that nature, we play.
Yeah.
So I gotta stay up there. So yeah, it's
God
kind of
damn.
like I'm just like up there, and then I'd be feeling weird because I'd be taking notes on my phone. So I'll be feeling kind of weird because I'm just up there on my phone, just.
In front of it.
So I'll be trying to make it obvious. I'm like looking at them. I'm like, okay, yes,
Right, dude.
but yeah, but
It's like you're having to sneak it from the teacher.
yeah. Where did that even come from?
Is it? Are you struggling with that right now?
I just like hit the.
Okay, I was about to say because I had.
I know,
some issues.
yeah, that mic stand, I think I had Randy
no, it's
over and it
not
was
bad.
messing up with him too.
Part of like what I'm like looking at the angle of which
Oh,
that's
snap.
going into the table.
I
It
didn't
looks
even
like
realize it had moved like that. Oh, it's good. Okay.
I
I was-
I
oh, no,
guess
it's
that looks pretty close. It just,
They have no idea what we're talking about.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
they could imagine. That's one of those things you can just you can just imagine anything they're being talked about. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Like with podcasts, yeah, it is a good point. Like when you're doing whatever, you're around the house or doing chores,
Fucking
listening
that's
to
a memorable
podcasts.
moment.
Yeah, and so you can just kind of think about it while you're. I mean, sure, that's gonna go back, but you just kind of think about it. You know, if you can't really see what's happening, it leaves the mind, the interpretation, the imagination. You know, it could. Some people might like that. Some people might not. Some people need the visual stimulation, but
Yeah. True.
one thing I was gonna ask about though, kind of similar to that, but it was about algorithms. Because going back to the instruments, like recently with the studying and stuff, I've been on YouTube a lot, looking up guitar tabs, just researching other guitars and just general information. And now all of my YouTube algorithm is just guitars. It has
You're to that level of obsession.
yeah, I didn't even think I honestly didn't even think I had gone that deep because I didn't start out on YouTube. I was reading books. I actually went to Guitar Center and I just got some actual books and I was reading books.
God damn.
And I was doing research outside of YouTube. And then I searched up like 2 or 3 videos on YouTube, and now my entire algorithm. If I say it one more time, I don't know. Maybe that'll help us because this way it's so. I don't know.
I gotta ask you, like, do you think because you were a college athlete,
Yeah.
you played like college football, which is like basically like fucking professional football, just about. So it's like
These days it feels like it.
yeah, it looks like it. I mean, so do you think like now that you don't like play sports anymore, do you think like a lot of that like focus has like turned into like has just been directed at music? You think like you had the fucking like ability to focus like that for that kind of like intense shit you're doing every day? You think that carries over into that? I guess is my question.
Yeah, that's one of the things I remember my mom when I was finishing up football and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, I was talking about the last stages of it, and she was like, well, do you think it would have been better if you just didn't do football?" And I was like, "Oh no, like everything, the way that it's set me up and prepared me for life, it's like every day." It's you actually legitimately see things that they told you back in football, like this and that. And so like with football, it's a lot of studying and it's like a game of basically it's like a game of chess. So it's a lot of studying the other opponent, their schemes, their formations, why they motion, what they might motion to out of this when they're in 11 or 12 personnel. And so it teaches you how to really study into the little details. And outside of that, though, college in general is where you really learn how to study. Like one of my sociology classes, our professor she walked us through the process of how to find legitimate articles, what you need to look for. She's like, don't just go into Google and just search this up. Like some of those sources can be true. But if you're looking for credited sources, like you want to go into Google, you know, you try Google Scholar, you want to dive deep into it. You want to find certain resources. We had our library, and they sat us down and told us the steps you need to go into to take to really research and stuff. And so now when I'm outside, I know I'm outside of school. Like, it's so funny when you talk to older generational people and they try to act like you don't know what you're talking about or blah, blah, blah. Like, where'd you read this or this and that, blah, blah. It's like, oh, no, like, I know how to research. This is one of the times where you can say, I went to college. Like, they taught me how to research. I know what I'm talking about. And that helps with the guitar and things like that because now when I'm going into the music, I know what I need to look into. And just through as I've grown and I understand certain ways that I pick up on things, I can then incorporate how to research and how to study into how I operate. And so that allows me to really dive into it. And then for me personally, just how it's kind of evolved, music theory helps because when I first did music theory, I didn't really understand it. And part of that was because my interest for music theory was I wanted to get better at instruments, but at that point, I guess there was so much other stuff going on. I wasn't really dedicated to putting in the time to really learn it. So now I realize, like kind of what we were talking about earlier before we were even recording, I think, what makes you really get good at an instrument is just sitting down and practicing and playing. Like that's like getting instruction can drastically increase that speed. I personally have never had the funds, or at least they had to be focused elsewhere. So getting getting instructors wasn't really on my timeline. So now I understand that it's like I just have to sit down and really focus in on it. And so since I understand music theory, that allows me to be able to sit down and just focus because it's like, okay, I understand the basics. So now I get back into reading. I'm actually reading guitar and the basics of it so I can understand the foundations of that. I'm researching more on music theory, and so I can catch up on that. I've been talking forever. And then,
Can you like when you come across a video like that you really think like fucking helps you understand how to play the guitar? Can you send it to me? Because I don't think I'm fucking doing my research correctly. Cause I don't,
when I come across
I don't know
something-
my approach, but like if you're finding shit that like fucking like shit, please send that to me because I have not gone down the rabbit hole properly.
When the podcast finishes, I can show you.
Yeah, I can probably turn around and pull up.
But when I find something that I think is really valuable, whether it be music, just something interesting for life, I send it to myself. So
Send it to
like,
yourself.
yeah. So if it's like
Like an archive or some shit.
yeah, like when I was on social media, like Instagram a lot, I would save it in Instagram, and sometimes I'll save things. But like on YouTube, if I save something, it might be like I made a playlist, like a how-to playlist that I'm making for myself. But if it's something that I think is really important, that's good to know, I'll send it to myself right then and there. So it's like, boom, okay, I have that. So I can check my note on my messages and boom. But yeah, I can do that. Yeah, because I have a lot.
I will save
videos.
mine I'll put a like on a video because you have like the catalog of all the fucking videos you were liked, like on at least on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then put it into a fucking playlist. Like just add it to a playlist. Like watch this later.
Yeah.
Like at some point, I think I'll like watch some of those videos again because like that kind of shit, like the watch later shit, like is the stuff that like, oh
Yeah. That's the part. We're going to have to make this like a special podcast, music edition or something.
Yeah, no,
this is like
I've already
interview style.
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
trying to figure
It's
out
the most I've ever talked.
good title for it. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. We need to keep this going.
But I was gonna say that's where I feel like I'm obviously technically undiagnosed, so that's where I feel like my OCD like kicks because the way that I organize everything, like on my YouTube, my Instagram, it's organized by things related to piano, food, dessert, R&B. Like if I'm looking at beats, it'll be free for profit hip hop, free for nonprofit hip hop. Like I organize everything so that way I can easily it's like files and folders in a computer or something, so I can just
You
easily
fucking organize your shit too.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking something I need to like work on is like the fucking organization.
Yeah, it was
That's
something
true.
that
Organization is a skill too, so it's important to have that, being able
Like,
to figure out
everything
how you're going to organize what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it definitely leads to a lot better of a workflow whenever you're doing stuff. So I mean, it's tough to develop.
Yeah,
that.
bro. Like for me, like I was always organized chaos. Like growing up, everything was somewhere in this area.
Yeah, because that's what I've got right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm fucking organized chaos.
But for me,
Okay.
I really started to hone in on this, well, honestly, kind of towards the end of college. But once I started engineering and I realized I was going to have to sort more than just my own files, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to actually like kind of sit down and do this. And then recently when I had the free time, that's when I finally went back and I actually organized all of my beats and just everything. So now I can actually, it increases your workflow. You now know where this is and you can understand where everything is, because it gets annoying trying to just flip
You think
through
it's
everything.
like this, like at the very start of you entering a world, you think, like when you first fucking download like Instagram, you think at the start, like you have a type of fucking like plan, like I'm gonna fucking put everything like in its right fucking place, or is it just kind of like at some point you're like, you know what? Because I like, you ever feel like you're overwhelmed by like how much shit there is?
Yeah.
If it feels easy to get behind, it's like, well, what's the point of starting now?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's. I mean, that's a lot of shit. Like for instance, I download a lot of fucking music.
Yeah.
And it's like I keep saying at some point I'm gonna go through it alphabetically, put everything in all these fucking playlists I have. At some point, I'll go through like all fucking 10,000 downloads and like do that. But I'm not. So it's like at this
Yeah.
point, like it's like I'll just whenever I come across a random in my like shuffle like everything, like I'll go like, you know what? I like this. I think this goes in this playlist. But it just feels like that's gonna take forever for you to really get there.
Yeah.
Like, get everything, because otherwise you have to listen to fucking the random shit to find shit you haven't like listened to in a while, you know?
Yeah, and then we'll have Carter piggyback on it so he can actually talk. 'Cause
I've been
we're not
chilling.
letting him talk. Okay, cool,
I've been,
cool.
I've been over here.
But it originally when I started, I just did stuff, and then over time, as things started to become overwhelming on not all at once, but on individual platforms, that's when I started realizing, like, I think it was Instagram first, because that was the one I think I used the most. I realized that when I'd go through save playlists and I was trying to find that food video that I saw the other day, because I want to try to make that. And I was like, where is it? I don't know what it is. So at that point I realized, okay, I have too many of these. Okay, so take all the funny, the memes, all that crap, put it here, take the food, put it here, take the dessert, blah, blah, blah. I have a whole playlist just simply of the Let Go Arc Patrol videos, because I think that's probably the only trend that I actually liked, because it was just people's art, whether it was AI generated or it was real people's art. It was just it was art, and then it was a song that I actually enjoyed, and it was like scenarios and stuff. So I had a whole playlist of that. But basically,
There's some good AI art too.
yeah. But basically, it's usually once it gets more overwhelming. But I think it's only recently that it started been like when I start something new, I immediately, all right, I'm going to organize, set apart this. It almost gets to a point that it's unnecessary. Like I'll create 3 folders for when I have this, this, and this, and I haven't even started on the project that I'm making the folders for. But yeah, that's kind of how I organize stuff. I don't even remember if that was the question. But
Goddamn.
Did you guys hear that new J. Cole?
I heard he'd be in fucking, I think, Fayetteville this weekend or next weekend.
I have not.
His
But
hometown.
I'll probably listen to it. I can move this away. I'll probably listen to it probably like next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just usually that's just like when
Put
it
it on
comes
the
to
list, man.
music, like going back to because I forgot to answer that. To go back to like how you organize your music. My problem is I tend to get stuck in genres sometimes.
Yeah.
So like
a lot of fucking blues, a lot of country, sometimes a lot of electronic other fucking times. Like, I feel like fucking rock right now. That's
Like,
the
honestly-
fucking one. That's the vibe I'm riding on.
Like honestly, I realized recently as I was coming over here, I was like, I haven't sang in a while. I was like, why is that? I was like, oh, I haven't really been singing to songs in the car, because last year it was really that's the longest span too. I think all of last year really it was R&B. I really just listened to R&B and pop, since pop and R&B like
and
intertwined.
what's it been like rap now or like
Now it's-
instrumental?
It's been more instrumentals recently because
I have that like phase like
because I had low key like burned myself out listening to music, so I just wanted to listen to music with no vocals in it.
Yeah,
I
like
just
vocals
wanted
making me
instrumentals.
think about things too much.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to
So-
let my mind go free. That's why like people like think instrumentals like you're a fucking weirdo. But like you don't have to have singing to have good music, you know.
No, you don't.
Some of the best fucking songs, like people love fucking solos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like people,
Like,
it's
that's-
just people
that-
don't. It's funny because they don't think about. I guess they just don't conceptualize it in certain other areas. Because imagine you go somewhere like at a restaurant and they have live music and it's just like a jazz band. People would probably love that.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just nice, calming music. They
The
just can't
atmosphere.
conceptualize that people would like to listen to that in their headphones in their free time. Like,
Yeah. Fucking love instrumental.
but
shit.
yeah, so And then like I've been doing a lot of driving recently, and I just kind of wanted to chill as I'm driving, so I've just been playing a lot of instrumentals. So I've kind of been in that state, and then because like I said, I've been learning guitar a lot, so I'm not really focused on vocals and stuff. I'm just
Kind of think about the
Yeah.
the patterns, like fuck.
But to go back to Carter, because you were talking about J. Cole, yeah, I've just kind of been so caught up on R&B. I've been so caught up on R&B all last year that I haven't really listened to rap.
Yeah,
And so I'm just low key going off the nature of how it's going now. It might be next year, but not really, because I plan on doing some rap soon, so I would end up listening to it.
Right.
But the reason I'm not really interested in listening to it is because I was on social media early today.
What you see?
And my cousin, he had posted on his story. He was like, "Hey, the GOAT, he posted something new," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta post it. Your favorite rapper posted your favorite music, yeah." As everybody does. Mm-hmm. I hate that, but
I love posting music with just like a hard pick in the background. Those picks we were taking earlier were fucking vibe. That would be nice with a good trap beat
slick,
behind it.
yeah.
You know?
And then a nice like I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think vintage, but some sort of
Put on
art
a
style
filter.
to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
But so I clicked on it because the album name or whatever it is, the album name. I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool name. So when I clicked on it, I started looking through the comments. All I saw were a bunch of people being like, "Oh, bro, like Kendrick had a pretty big diss at you. Like that's all you had to say. You not gonna bark back, all." And I'm like, why is this what your concern is? This is like your favorite rapper, and you're glad that he dropped some music, and your only concern is that he's not trying to start beef with somebody
That's good.
else.
I don't
Why
think those
is that
people
your
are the real
concern?
fans.
Why do people like instigating so much? There has to be constant drama in your life in order for you to be entertained.
I feel like
And that's why I hate comments too, because people can just post like the randomest shit on there.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
they
even,
love
like, a
hiding
well-constructed
behind that.
thought.
I can't think of the word. Being animist. Or
Yeah, anonymous. Yeah.
But
Anonymity.
yeah, what were you about to say?
I think like a lot of like those like online beefs, because that's really like when the public talks about like beefs happen, it's always something that you see on fucking happen on social media, like somebody posted something, whatever, or maybe there's an interview. So at least like you see like a video of it, but like I feel like it's all publicity stunts.
It is.
Like most of it has to be because it's like what are these millionaires and billionaires doing like talking shit on Twitter? Like shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's-
Kendrick Lamar is not gonna go and shoot Drake or J. Cole or anything like that. That's not what's really gonna happen.
Yeah, nobody that's like fucking like in the entertainment industry, like at least.
No,
because
no.
like
Of course
politically it happens. Like out in the fucking regular people world, it fucking happens. But like
Right.
People that are like have it made or whatever, they're not gonna make any decision that's not like linked to like financial gain or loss.
Right. Yeah,
like they
that's
don't
true.
fucking they don't think about like fucking. Like they're like your fucking like your ego, like they have egos, sure, but like
Yeah,
course.
but it's still yeah. But
And all that they stand to gain from this, both Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick, all they have to gain from this is more money and more attention, basically. Yeah, it's
but
drawn
the thing
so much
what's funny
attention
is
to it.
that from what I've read so far, Kendrick wasn't even really dissing Drake, or not Drake. He wasn't really dissing J. Cole. Apparently, everything that he was saying was more so targeted to Drake. I can't get the people right, and he wasn't even necessarily dissing J. Cole. More so, he's just saying that I think I'm the best. I'm most confident in myself. So,
Right.
but every rapper says that.
Exactly. So it's not even necessarily a diss or a shot at J. Cole, but people just like to take things and like escalate it and instigate it and make it drama worthy. But I remember reading last year that it was like Beyonce and Jay-Z had gotten to some altercation or something with their bodyguard, and he was let go, and then he was exposing everything, and it was like, yeah, Beyonce's always doing drugs before her shoots, like hard drugs, this and that, blah blah blah. Jay-Z be doing blah blah blah, this and that. But what you realize is all of this came out right before her tour, and then her tickets proceeded to explode.
Right.
And she sold, I don't know how, a lot. And so you start to is that really true, or are they just trying to get Beyonce's name in the
Drum up
headlines in people's
attention.
mouths? Exactly. And then the same thing with
It's like, look at this fucking crazy shit she did. Oh wait, look, now she's coming out on the album. Oh,
and now it was funny this year.
everybody knows the fucking album. Now we're all talking. Now we're all talking about it. Shit, I gotta check this out. Fuck.
Yeah, and now we're
Listen to
sitting here
this.
talking about it
She
quick
sucks.
again and bringing it back up. But same thing happened with the Super Bowl. And this time it was through social media.
Right,
I was just
yeah.
scrolling through social media, and then all of a sudden I start seeing Usher everywhere. Oh, I haven't seen Usher in a minute. Why is he all of a sudden popping up? What is this about? Everything. Oh, Usher's performing at the Super Bowl. Oh, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's performing at the Super Bowl. Why am I still seeing him so much? Come to find out, after the Super Bowl, he's going on tour and he's releasing an album.
Right.
Oh, once again, it's just publicity as usual. Yeah, at this point, I think all of the drama, all of the beef, it's just to get their names in people's mouths so they can sell whatever product they're trying to push.
Well,
That's so facts.
think about this. Speaking of the Super Bowl, a lot of people
Biggest
like.
Don't start
Super
with that
Bowl-
BS.
I'm going to. So I'm not a big NFL fan,
Yeah, I don't care.
whatever. I'm not a big
Yeah, me
NFL
either.
watcher, but like you got to think. The past few years, the NFL ratings have been fucking
Terrible.
dropping horribly. I mean, it's America's sport, and it's like America's professional team of their sport. So it's just it's crazy to think like with such fucking low numbers, months in advance, you've got this Taylor Swift situation. Taylor Swift and what's his name, Travis Kelce or some
Yep.
shit. It's like this whole fucking thing. We're talking about, oh my god, an NFL player. Look at all the fucking publicity, Swifties and everything. It's all in the fucking
Will she be able
memes.
to make it back in time for the game?
All that shit. It's like, people have been saying for like a long time the NFL is rigged. It's entertainment.
It's rigged.
Why wouldn't it be? There's a lot of money on the fucking line. Why would it not be? But like the whole Taylor Swift thing, people were saying like leading up to it, it's gonna be the fucking whatever team he's on. What is
Yeah,
it?
Travis Kelce was like, yep, the Chiefs are gonna win. Yeah, everybody was like, the Chiefs are going to win.
That's what they were saying like from early on, and then it ends up fucking happening. And apparently a lot of times they like panned on Taylor Swift during the fucking
Yes, during the entire game. I didn't even watch it, but I just saw the highlights of it.
So it's about fucking celebrities.
Yep.
That's what
Okay,
it is. Yeah,
so
it's like the Met Gala of sweaty motherfuckers in pads.
Publicity. The NFL ratings are so much higher. They got white women to watch NFL without having a husband.
I'm pretty sure more people probably watched for Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl, or not Super Bowl, the halftime show, than the actual game.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people I heard at when I was at the one job in Atlanta that were like, "Oh yeah, no, I just watched it to see Usher take his shirt off, and then I turned it off immediately." And I'm like,
What a
wow.
fucking
And
cuss word.
it'd be the same the other way around for some people. It's like, yeah, I don't even watch the sport. I just know that so and so was performing. Yeah, like it's
Who
just
gives a shit?
yeah. Who cares? But
It's not what the fucking. It's not
But it
the
was-
main event. It's not
it was
what it's fucking about.
It was ridiculous, and I read something about people talking about it, and I kind of low key agree. It's like, yeah, the NFL is rigged, and a lot of people they'll say, well, you think the players are in it, and a lot of people speculate the ones that make all the money. Yeah, probably they very well could be, but what it really is it's rigged in the sense that the refs are going to make sure the game flows a certain way so that the game goes a certain way. Because in the past few years, how many BS calls where it is absolutely obvious? We have how many different camera angles? We have how many different replayability factors? We have how many people watching? How many refs on the field? How many people in the stand? How many players? How many coaches? We have all of these angles, and there have been the most obvious penalties, holding calls, like late hits,
And they don't
everything,
call
and they don't call them. They just magically miss it.
You see this in college.
That's not
You see this in college,
coincidence. Yeah, it's not coincidence.
I mean, I'm an Alabama fan. Have always been my whole life. From fucking very close to Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's like I got it from the family, but I mean. So I mean, people can talk about like it being rigged in like Saban's favor, during his fucking reign. They say, oh, he wasn't a very good NFL coach, which it was a whole different fucking situation because like getting players as an NFL coach is not really as simple as, or it's not as easy as it is like recruiting kids from high school.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get like your batch of it. So I mean, maybe he was good at picking them, whatever. We're talking about sports now, which is like I never thought that I'd fucking be doing that on the fucking mic. But to tell you the truth, but like, I think there are some obvious calls for Alabama. Sometimes not. It's kind of just whoever is the big fucking dog.
Whoever
and now
is
it's
probably gonna make
becoming
them-
Georgia.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this like the
Yeah,
Alabama.
it's definitely becomes.
I think the light has shifted. Like this is the new main character.
Yeah.
This is who we fucking look to as like the top dog.
This is our moneymaker. That's it. It's like it starts to shift. Is this like who we think is going to make us more money? And now they've realized, okay, we think Georgia's going to be our moneymaker right now, and so we have to make sure they shine. Yeah, bro. I think a lot of life in current today is kind of rigged more towards
Puppeteered.
pay to win. Life is pay to win. That's
True,
That
dude.
is.
clear, put and simple. Life is pay to win. The more money you have, in a relative sense at least, the easier it is. The more convenience, the more ability, the more
But
opportunity.
you only need the simplicities. You could be homeless, and it's the sunshine in the morning. That
Oh
makes
yeah, money can't buy you happiness. Says
Money
the
can't.
people chilling on their yacht. Money can't buy you happiness. Okay,
It
then
always fucking
why-
is
but,
them too,
you
which
know,
is fucking
yeah, exactly.
like money isn't
Facts.
everything. Well, it looks like it fucking is a lot of things.
Yeah, money can't buy you happiness. But you made like what 500 million last year, and for some reason you had to raise profits so that you can increase your own profits by 20%. I thought money can't buy you happiness. You have a net worth of 3.5 billion or something crazy like that. But you're telling us not to strive to work for money, yet here you are cutting your workers and paychecks and firing them so that you yourself can make more money that you already have an abundance of. But money can't buy you
They don't
happiness.
want competition. They're saying, "Stay the fuck out of this game."
They want to keep their gates closed. They have their little gate kept community, and they want to make sure it stays that way, and they want to make sure that everybody else is just depending on them to do
The
everything, and they'll
class.
just blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
no,
blah.
they're never gonna let it. People who are philanthropic, like
Classism.
they're absolutely some of the worst people that you've ever met in your life. Fucking crazy motherfucker Sam Bankman-Fried, who finally got sentenced. I doubt he's gonna set foot in jail, but he got sentenced.
Yeah, I saw
Elon
he finally.
Musk is a
What was it,
bitch.
like 26 years to Sam Bankman?
I thought it was like 5.
Oh, okay.
I
It may,
think it
it may have
was
been. It may have been like okay. It may have been short, but you know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like the fucking white collar crimes, you don't really get like hardly any fucking years. But those,
No,
are,
dude.
But those are the things that.
Embezzling a year, like what
Those are the
fuck?
things that like that the government like would be more angry about. You know.
Yeah,
'Cause
they're
that-
fucking
that's-
over thousands, hundreds of thousands of taxpayers, bro. They're not
Think
able
about
to do
Jordan
that.
Belfort, the Wolf
Yeah.
of Wall Street. He only
Yeah,
went to, he
dude.
only went to like he only went to prison, a nice prison, a really nice prison for like
Rich people prison.
for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
and like think about like all like the fucking the millions of dollars he scammed out of like people, millions and millions and hundreds of fucking maybe billions actually. I'm retarded. Billions, of course. The billions of fucking dollars that he juiced out of motherfuckers
Right.
is fucking nuts.
Dude,
and he
yeah.
only got a couple of years. Why do white collar crimes that the government would be like the most like this is
because
pissing
it
me
would
off.
affect them more. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times
you would
those
think.
the same people like
you
who's
still-
Goldman
you-
Sachs, like a lot of people who are like that, bro. They're literally lobbying inside of the government to get certain laws passed, and they're
I was
paying
going to say
off
that's
people, bro.
well,
Nancy
I mean, that's
Pelosi.
the idea.
And
that's
that's what
probably
pushes
what it is.
that's what pushes the culture. And it's like all these cultural movements people follow, I feel like a lot of it is manufactured.
Yeah.
To market.
I agree.
They've got us like fucking like in a filter. They built a fucking like a goddamn a water network of like
Basically,
pipes and shit.
yeah.
And they know where to fucking route us. It's like that's the controlled opposition. They take over, they control like what you think, because you are the opposite of what these other people think. But really, they're both fucking going in the same fucking direction.
Yeah.
It's just like this is what we want to fucking put money into right now.
But that's actually a really good point. Jesus. But I was gonna say with him only getting the white collar, him only getting like 2-3 years, I think that could potentially be that he probably is cool with the people at the top, which is how he's able to get that far in the first place.
Corruption.
But it's like it's to a point that they all know that hey, we kind of all just do whatever we want to do, but we got to keep it on the low from the whole entire populace.
That's why it's called insider trading, because they keep it
Yeah.
on the inside.
So
That's right.
but if it eventually
Nancy
gets
Pelosi.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
if it eventually gets to a point that it's like, okay, dude, you're kind of caught. We have to do something. We can't just leave it here. So we're gonna punish you, but not really. You're gonna be chilling for like a couple of years. And like I think like that sounds crazy, but that's how I kind of look at it with Trump. To be honest, like his whole thing went down, and I honestly think that they all do what he probably got scammed for. But since he was the only one that was geniusly stupid enough to admit it, they're like, we kind of gotta like do something about this,
Right.
because if we don't,
You're selling
people are
it-
gonna start asking questions.
Start
You're
selling
selling
secrets.
us out. You're,
Yeah,
you're,
you're
telling,
selling us out.
You're telling the people about what the fuck we're really doing.
And you're
this
not
is
supposed to do
This
that.
is not cool. You're kicked out of our club. We have to keep you out of the fucking
And so
limelight.
you know what they
And
do?
so he was so attacked by everything, and he still is looked at like he made like I remember when I was first exposed to it, like with the 2016 election, I actually bought into it. Like when the Now This media fucking launched, that was a new thing like on Snapchat, and I'd watched that like, oh. Wow, Trump is literally Hitler? Well, you know what? You're bringing up some good fucking links there, and then it took me like until I had like some real conversations, and I actually like looked at what like how people were being treated in the media, and it was like, damn, they fucking took me for a ride.
It's like
It's like these people were fucking lied to me. They fucking they manipulated me. They brainwashed me, sort of, you know. But I
Yeah.
broke out of it because I was willing to listen at some point.
I don't
me-
think there's any like real media without any bias towards one
Yeah.
place or another, because even media corporations are after money.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that's not biased is fucking James O'Keefe. Do you know who that fucker is?
No, I don't.
He's the person that like goes like he's a real actual fucking journalist. The only like one of the few cases you'll actually see of an independent journalist like looking for real information. What he does is he goes undercover as a Tinder date, or like it could be for men, so he could pose as like a gay man, or it could just be like fucking, you know, for a woman or whatever. Much rarer case. Or they have another fucking person go in there with a camera on them posing as a date, and they ask them about the job they're working in. So we're talking like the big fucking government people, like the White House, even like fucking people that work in the White House, people that fucking work for these massive companies, the fucking the vaccine companies, the media companies, the news companies. He goes in and gets this like undercover fucking information of them like exposing them fucking selves, and just that's all you got to do. And then he breaks his cover and he reveals who he is, and he starts asking questions. You see like how they respond. It's interesting, but that's a real fucking journalist. That's a real like for the fucking people, because he's exposing the big fucking cats, you know, and what the fuck they're really
I'm
up
gonna have to
to.
look into that. Actually, I'm gonna have to get you to write. I'm gonna have to write that down. I was gonna say we start finishing up, but I was gonna say going back to what we were just talking about. Like I never really paid that much attention to like elections and stuff. I didn't watch the 2016 thing, but when I had realized when Trump he went up there and he had said, "Hey, people, everything that you think they're in there doing, that you think they're conspiring about, all these conspiracy theories, yeah, they're all true. It's exactly what they're doing." Mm-hmm. And that's why people liked him, because he was the most American like president. Like,
Yeah.
he was
I'm gonna
what-
tell you how what
exactly
the fuck's going on.
Like he comes, he's like crazy, he's wild, he's loud. That's kind of how
But he
America
talks
is
to the
seeing
people.
everybody else. Exactly, he talks to the people.
That's how he's different. He actually talks to the fucking people.
Exactly. He's not
And,
saying some BS like
he
just
boasts
the
himself
organized.
up a lot, but
yeah.
it's like you look at like the difference, and this is the first time in history we've ever seen like we saw like an Obama versus a Trump, you know, kind of presidency. And Obama was a cool guy.
Hmm.
He had the swagger, like
He did the same thing that Trump did. He spoke directly to the people.
Yeah, but he
You
was
know,
more like
stopped-
cool, but yeah.
He stopped trying to like win the room over in debates instead, because there's more
Yes,
than just
but not-
who's in the room. He look at the camera whenever the other person was talking and give him like one of those, you know, like he did a whole bunch of things that
He had
made
a
him more of an
personality.
approachable person. And he was younger too. He was super young. Like he was below 50 whenever he was running for president. So he was more in touch, and he was the first president on Twitter too. And that kind of connection definitely allowed people to, you know, connect with him on a tighter level.
Yeah, or at least a parasocial level.
Yeah.
Well, what were you saying about Trump? Like the difference from Obama to Trump?
Obama was a fucking cool and a different guy. He didn't. I don't think he ended up accomplishing everything that he wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
At least in terms
Well,
of
he
like,
definitely
of,
wanted
like,
to
cultural
bomb
progression.
a lot of people.
Yeah,
He wanted to bomb a lot of
It's
people.
not important right now.
He did
We
it.
gotta finish this.
he did. I mean, he blew up a fucking wedding, you know, because of one or two terrorists, sort of. But he was definitely continuing like the previous administration's, you know, fucking war, their conflicts. And Trump actually fucking squanched them. Like you remember his first year, he like defeated ISIS and so okay.
I wasn't paying attention yet. I still wasn't paying attention.
Well,
That's bad, but it's true.
basically, he had no conflicts. I mean, there were some times, like we said, it's like you're big gangs. So you got to tell people like, hey, fuck off. So he was a real like gangster of a president. Like, we're not fucking playing war, but like we'll fuck with you if you keep fucking with us, like that kind of thing.
Okay, that makes
Assassinations.
sense.
So I mean, I lost my train of thought there, but yeah,
People
but,
like notice that or things of that nature, and so yeah, okay.
So yeah, he's actually fucking like doing the things that people ask for in terms of like things that have been fucking ignored, and it feels like the government's sort of in control. But yeah, you look at Obama to Trump, and I guess before Obama, it was different. People were different, and those different kind of
I still wasn't
politicians.
paying attention.
But it's like, I mean, I was a child or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
not too much.
Yeah.
But it's like the difference. You know, from Obama to Trump is crazy, but like the difference between Trump to Biden is even fucking crazier.
It's insane.
Because Biden, like, once you see like an open free president that just speaks, he has these like all these things. He posts on social media. He posts fucking memes.
Yeah,
he shit
dude.
posts.
Yeah.
Shit posting is pretty tough for a president.
He
That's
talks
what's
to
up.
hilarious.
people. He does these interviews. Even the interviews he doesn't fucking want to do. The interviews that could maybe make him look bad. He fucking does them to talk to the people because that's an audience for the opposition. They get to see him speak. You know, if he goes and talks on CNN or whatever,
Right.
which he did a few times. So that's
CNN,
fucking crazy.
ABC, all those, NBC.
And then you have a corpse walking around, reading lines, and barely able to walk around. It's like this, like you're gonna. They were that fucking upset about fucking like about what Trump did, like that they're gonna put a fucking like a dead person, a zombie in charge. They were that pissed off because presidents before that were not really, at least not obviously like that.
No.
But that's what it fucking like. Goddamn, like they really fucking like. No, we're going back to fucking square one. Control.
Yeah, it's crazy how we got there because I was just gonna say to tie it back to with the whole Trump now getting this and that down on him for all the dirt and this. I was like, it's sad because what they wanted to happen happened perfectly. It was like he exposed it, then they started leaking all his documents. It's like, hey, you know, you kind of exposed too much. We got to kick you out. So now that they kicked him out, everybody's like, see, that's what happens when you cheat and you tax evasion, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, it heavily enforces. So now those people are reinforced in their mind that the government is not in there doing everything that we think they're doing and that they do have our best interest. It worked exactly how they wanted it to work. It's terrible.
Yeah,
'Cause
no.
It's like, wow, it's kind of sad. Just like that, now everybody's back. Oh yeah, no, the government. Yeah, no, they have our best interest, definitely.
It's pretty much every election season. Yeah, the discussion gets brought up again because America's always polarized in between elections,
Yeah.
and then whenever it comes to the time, a lot of the topics that people have been discussing during like the last 3 years, they get brought up again, and then it's like everything is on both candidates on how they're going to wind up approaching the next situation. And that's what's happening with, I mean, honestly, Trump hasn't been doing any debates or anything like that.
I still have an
He
opinion.
chose not to do those. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like he didn't he didn't respect it at all. Like the fact that he would have to like debate with other like introduction. Like he was the president.
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
gonna be the number one choice for like that side. It's like why the fuck should I do that? I'm just gonna go talk to Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
like
dude.
fucking like that's
He's
fucking.
gonna do what makes him look good because
That's
he
the
has
most-
he has the power to do that now, basically.
He's like, yeah, I don't have to fucking play this game.
Uh-huh.
I've already done this part. Like, I'm gonna go straight to the thing that.
He's
that
like, I
I'm
know,
used to.
I remember this section of the game. I can speed run this real quick. Let's get it on.
What a fucking hilarious choice.
And now they're running Biden up against him again. Yeah, real fun times that we're having here, right?
We're in a different kind of era, aren't we?
We are.
All right,
Damn
it
it.
is 11:14.
Hell yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably
Let's
wrap
wrap
it
it.
up.
Wrap it up.
Two
I was
drinks
like,
in,
I was
it's been
I was trying to
Jordan, Clay,
like
and Carter.
I was trying yeah. Oh, that's why I did that clap right there. So we had it if we were gonna pause it.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. We could do either or.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I was trying to wrap it up with the whole him getting kicked out, and then we went on the whole tangent with Obama. And I was like, "Ah, this is not important. We need to finish this. We're running out of time. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's wrap
We
it
got
up.
out of
y'all gotta
time.
get home.
Yeah.
I gotta
Well, you
do-
were saying you want to stay late. That's why I was like, bro, we're running out of time. There was more things I had to show with the bass and other stuff, and they had to look
Yeah,
up the
yeah.
guy. That's why I was like, we need to end this.
All right, yeah, no, all right, I'm cutting it. All right.
Hold on,
so you gotta-
hold on.
yeah, close.
Okay.
You gotta be
All
be
right.
traditional. Uphold the tradition.
do it again.
Consistency. What did you say? You said continuity.
Yes,
So this has
continuity.
been Jordan. This has been Carter.
All right, now,
And this has been Clay. All right.
well, I was doing
We're
that
done
for
here.
the marker, but all right.
All right, and cut.
And so next part's gonna be okay. Wait, okay, and wait. No, I didn't fucking say to go. Goddamn, I didn't say cut. Fuck.
You want to redo that?
You know what? You kind of. I don't know anymore.
We
I
can
feel
run
like
it back.
You don't listen to
Take two.
instructions.
Take
you know.
three.
I feel like you should just at some
and-
point end the conversation. Just cut it off. Like there's no outro. Like we already did the outro. Just have us keep talking, and then the music just stops.
Yeah, I'll put a fader on.
No, no
music
fader. No, a hard stop. Just a hard stop.
Okay, and wait. And do you want to clap right about it? Wait.
My hand's over the space bar.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
And
Why
we're
are we-
going
why are we
to-
wasting more
we're-
time?
And we're gonna clap. Wait,
That was a bad clap.
and we're gonna